So my roommate literally left this on my desk, and he opened two of them and said, hey, if you want to open this, talk about it and let me know what you think. I think Duel Devastator is actually an amazing set. From the get-go, when it was first revealed on Farfetch's channel, like, we all saw the reprints, we all saw everyone's reaction. It was amazing, and I honestly feel that this is one of the best investments that any returning player or any player that's kind of on a budget can invest in. There are so many good cards in here, so many good reprints. I am actually baffled, to be honest, on how a set like this came to be. I think that there are so many good things in here that are just so, just good for your side deck, they're good for your main deck, they're just good utility cards, and it's something I've always believed in this game, is you want to have good utility cards, you want to have good hand traps, you want to have good staples that can come up at any time. I'm actually going to be doing a video coming up about, the essentials that every Yu-Gi-Oh player can use at pretty much any event, or just in general just have as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, competitive or non-competitive, and that'll be an amazing video. But yeah, we're gonna open this, and more so we're gonna just go over the set and talk about my honest thoughts and why I think this is one of the best products ever released. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you're new here, consider subscribing, give the video a like if you did enjoy this. Like I said, I don't do a lot of product openings. This is more so not only for my roommate, but for the fact that I think this is an amazing set, and I feel that going forward I'm only going to open things that I feel really impact the meta, and I think this is something that not only impacts the meta because it gives good reprints, but it helps any player out pretty much at any level. So yeah, so we will get into it. Bear with me because you guys already know, if you guys watch my openings before, I open stuff, and sometimes we're able to open it, sometimes we're not able to. But yeah, this Duel Devastator box already looks amazing. Like, I really like the art that they used for the the extra Ghost Sisters and stuff. Looks really cool. I just think overall just just amazing presentation. I honestly think Belle is my favorite new art, to be honest, but we'll pop it open. Yeah, so the thing with this is, I do agree with people saying there's a lot of space that's kind of used here, and I mean, you can work with this, like, you can always work with this stuff, but yeah, so that's what comes. You get a thing of field centers, and then you get your whole stack of cards. And for anyone wondering, it is, I believe, a 40 card set. It's like 20 cards, or it's like 30 cards for your side deck, 20 cards for your extra deck, and then you get all the sisters and stuff, so it's a 50 card set or whatever. But yeah, we'll get into it. First, I'll crack open these field centers. From what I found out from my roommate is that they actually are at random. You're not guaranteed to get the same ones each time. I know he's looking for Kaiba, so hopefully we can pull it for him. We've got a Shizu, we've got Ash Blossom, we've got Winter Cherries, and we've got the Nun. So we did not pull it for him, unfortunately. He's still going to be hunting for that one. But yeah, I think these field centers are very cool. Field centers are just cool in general. Like, I know a lot of people use them and have, different reasons for the ones they use. I think these are just really cool that Konami's releasing, more official ones for players to get. I wish they were a little transparent, but I understand that, they're also trying to promote Duel Devastators, so pretty cool. Overall, I think they're pretty cool. And yeah, so we're gonna get into this set. So this set, like I said, is already a set list. Like, you've already seen this. Most people have opened this, and you already know what comes in here if you've watched those openings all the way through. But I think it's really important to talk about, like, just the good quality of cards you get in this set. And of course, we start with the hand traps. You get Ghost Ogre, Winter Cherries, Ash Blossom, Belle. You get a Ghost Sister and Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, and you get the new one, Red Blossom, for the Underroot. So you guys should be familiar with at least all of these. Maybe some of you not even these as much. Like, I feel like some people are more familiar with these. You guys already know Ash Blossom. It's had a lot of reprints, but now it's like readily accessible and guaranteed. I think that's what's so cool about this set. Winter Cherries hasn't been seeing a lot of play, but it's something that could see play in the future. And then Ghost Ogre, all these cards in their alternate art. Very, very cool. Ghost Ogre, really important. This was a harder card for people to get if you didn't get the tin reprints, if you didn't get the Gold Series ones. You had to try and hunt down secret ones. That was pretty hard. So, or if the Ultra ones or whatnot. But yeah, overall it was really cool that they reprinted these. And then the newer hand traps, newish I should say, Belle, again, this art looks absolutely amazing. I love it. Belle is just an amazing card, really good against Orcus. Orcus are still going to be played in the format, so I think this card is great. This one I know is gimmicky, it's mostly for time, but I mean, they include it. And then this new one, so I'll be honest, I haven't even really looked at this card, but it says if this card is in your hand, you can target one spell or trap in each graveyard, banish them, and if you do special summon this card, you contribute this card, then target one fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link monster near their graveyard, banish that target, and if you do special summon one monster from your graveyard with a different monster type than the other one that you summon from the target, and you can only use the effect once per turn. I don't think this card will see play right now. Maybe it'll see play eventually, but you know, this is like the newest Ghost Sister, just not as high impact as any of the others. I feel these last two are kind of subpar, but outside of that, it's great to have all those reprints. And yeah, so now we're just gonna go into stuff. So okay, the first card is just kind of funny. Like, I don't know why they reprinted this, but you know, it is what it is. From the Hidden Arsenal, you guys remember they reprinted Catastor and Brionek. I mean, Brionek is cool if you didn't get a reprinted one. They weren't hard to get, but it's just in case you do play it in a certain deck like that plays like Yazi or Mammoth or anything like that. Anything that can make a level 6. Pretty good against Thunder Dragons too. You just make this, you just spin away the whole board, and it's pretty nice. Metaphys Horus, just another card that, I mean, this has a million reprints, but it is what it is. Black Rose Dragon, just an amazing level 7. Has always been an amazing level 7, even though it doesn't see a lot of play. It's cool that, you know, they reprinted it for people that never had it. Clearwing Fast Dragon. So from what I heard, this is I believe the next reprint of this card. I don't know if this got a reprint before, but it's very cool if it's true that it didn't, because I know a lot of players wanted to have these cards. You know, I know there's a lot of nostalgic players that enjoy their synchros. There's a lot of players that enjoy, you know, playing like the Stardust cards and, you know, Pendulum cards and all that stuff. So it's really cool that they did reprint this, especially if it needed the reprint. Stardust Spark Dragon, this definitely brings back memories. This and Emptiness was broken. Scarlet Red Dragon, still broken in time. Even though you can't aggregate it out anymore, it's still pretty cool. Vermilion Dragon Mech, I remember when this card was nuts, being able to, you know, destroy a card. And other things, just really cool, being able to get you know, your tuners back. And then Trish, this card came, I believe, to 2 on the list, or not the last list, but the list before, so still pretty cool. I know there's some hand loop decks that are still trying to make this work. Trish will just always be iconic in my eyes. Like, I remember when Trish first came to the TCG, it was insane. Dweller, this is a really good reprint. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, well, this card, I think it was, what, a super and then a gold? I think it looks really good in Ultra. I just think it really, really looks good in Ultra. So for anyone that didn't have a Dweller, if you're playing a rank 4 deck or any deck that can span this out, this card's insane. Beats so many decks in the format. One-on-one Honor Arc and Castel. Believe it or not, for people that don't know, Castel actually overpowered Honor Arc, and it kind of nudged it out of play in the format. It was pretty nuts. And then Tornado Dragon, just really good. Another generic Link 4, especially for back row removal. Underclock Taker, this card is cool in conjunction with the, you know, the Dino deck or anything that's trying to pierce. You know, you just lower a monster to 0, just like punch over them for game or damn near game. So very cool, you know, generic Link 2. And then Lanphonicus, this card's really cool that it came in hollow. We've been using this card, like with this and Beat Cop, where the cards went back and forth too, but Lanphonicus was always a common out of that crazy structure deck, and like held like kind of like a weird price tag for being just a common, but now that it's Ultra, it's awesome. I think it looks really cool as an Ultra, and this is a card that you should always have on hand because you never know if it's going to see play. The fact that it takes 2 monsters is really, really cool, because sometimes you need to be able to just make a link with a token and whatnot, and this lets you do that, whereas certain cards that take only effect monsters like Lambda do not. Gaia Saber, this was just a generic Link 3 back in the day. It was one of the earlier links. I don't know how much play it saw, but it was just a generic Link 3. It never pointed to your opponent, so that was always beneficial, and it was just a vanilla, so it's pretty cool. The iconic Decode Talker, don't really need to talk about this. It had a ton of reprints. Decode Talker Extended, so another version of Decode Talker. This one, it gains 500 attack for each monster it points to. If this card points to is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can take this card can make a second attack during the battle phase, so this can be like an OTK card. Then of course Bomber Dragon, this was an amazing reprint. This was a Link 4 that was starting to go up in price, and a lot of players need to get their hands on it. You buy this set, you buy 1 copy of this set, and you get this card. This card is great. You play it in Orcish, you play it in any decks that play Link 4s, and that can benefit from this. It blows up the entire board, and it's insane. It's also part of a really crazy Exodia FTK that my boy Sam profiled. It was pretty nuts, but yeah, this card's pretty cool. Oh, Saryuja, you were the selling point of this set, so it's kind of crazy. So Saryuja getting its reprint finally, you know, I think is really cool. People wanted this. The card is still at 3, so if you're trying to play like a crazy danger deck like I am or whatnot, you can just play 3 Saryuja. You guys already know when I played the World deck, like you had to play 3 of this, so it's pretty crazy. For anyone that needed Saryuja for Wombo combo decks, you have it now. DD Crow, the card is starting to see a lot more play this format. Really good against Orcus, really good against Salomon Great, really good against a lot of decks. Throws a lot of players off, so the card's very good. Another printing of Valor. Valor will always be a good card. A Gate Blocker, so this was a card that was basically people tried to hype as like the out to Mystic Mind because it negated the effect of all your opponent's field cards. Your opponent cannot place counters on this card. Cannot target other monsters with card effects. This card was gimmicky. It didn't really do anything, but it was gimmicky, so it is what it is. Denko Sekka will always be good against back row decks. This is like the king of anti-meta right here. Inspector Border. This card's nuts. Really good reprint. This might be one of the hands down the best reprints in this whole set, and one of the ones I was most excited for. People who didn't have Spell Canceller, this card was insane last format, and even during certain formats against Striker, it was like an auto win. If you could stick this with like other monsters, you just won the game. They just couldn't play, and this card was nuts. You also were able to search this when you would have your Brotar point to the opponent's Hayate, so it was wind, you could search it. It's pretty crazy. It was a machine too, so I mean, that's just nuts. So yeah, another Lancia reprint in Hollow. So I think it looks really cool as an Ultra. I like the secrets, but also I think the Ultra looks nice. Vanity's Fiend and Majesty's Fiend, the dynamic duo. I mean, these cards don't see as much play, but I think they should get some attention. I know you can play this in Domain Monarchs. We'll definitely be doing a Domain Monarch profile once I put it together. Both these cards actually will see play in that deck. And then another Prankatox reprint. We all wanted this Hollow. We've gotten it Hollow multiple ways, so no one can complain. This is just a very, very good utility card in the main deck or side deck. And then Gameciel, the most generic Kaiju. It's the lowest attack one. It's just level 8. It's just what you want in a Kaiju. Most people side them in like triplicates, 2-ofs, triplicates, and I mean, it's just really good for outing stuff. And then we're on to the spells. So the spells are pretty crazy. Mind Control, amazing reprint. This card is one of my favorite spell cards in the game. Love it. It just steals so many games. Not only that, it steals a monster. Wave Motion Cannon for all you burn players. Back in the day, this was a $20 common and up for those of you that remember. Super Poly, another amazing reprint. I know this is a card that is at 3. It's extremely powerful, this format. So good against so many decks, and definitely something you want to have. So buying 3 of these, you'll get all of that. Book of Eclipse, card is good. Silent Graveyard got its Hollow reprint. Looks really solid, really good. Really underrated card in my opinion. Cosmic Cyclone, just been amazing, this format. Just being able to trade with the Crescendo, get them to banish it or get them to negate is just amazing. And then Call by the Grave, another printing of this card. It looks really cool as an Ultra. I like it. I know there was the Prismatic one people liked, but I like this one too. And I like the Super, but I think this one looks really cool. And then lastly for the traps, there was the Different Dimension Grounds. This card's just really cool. A lot of people don't pay attention to this card. It's so strong. You just flip it in, basically skip your opponent's turn if they rely on the graveyard. It's like a D barrier. Typhoon, this is another one of my favorite reprints that came in this set. I feel it's definitely one of the best reprints here. Just really good against back row decks. The opponent doesn't see it coming. So good against Pendulum. So good against Mystic Mine and decks like that. So I think this card is just amazing that they gave a reprint, because it only had, I believe, a couple printings and they were quite hard to get and they were quite up there price-wise. So very, very good. This is a guaranteed reprint. Forbidden Apocrypha, it saw play during Zoo format. Dimensional Barrier, same thing, like during Zoo format, during Pendulum format, stuff like that. This card, it doesn't see as much play as it used to, but it's something that some people randomly side, and it takes the opponent off a guard, because, you can use this against Thunder Dragons that call Fusions, you can use this against Pendulums called Pendulums, etc. So, card's pretty cool. Lost Wind, another hollow reprint for this, looks really good. This card's really good in decks like Ultrageist, Paleozoic, decks like that. I think it's really cool. The same thing with Storm Duster, just really good generic back row removal in a trap form. Royal Decree, the OG of no traps. Anti-Spell, just broken against Pendulums and Sky Strikers. There can only be one. This was a much needed reprint. There was only the super rare version of it, and it had reached like some ungodly price that made no sense, but it was because it only had one reprint, and it only had one printing, and now it has the reprint, so this card's insane. Really, really strong floodgate. And then Wiretap, I mean, this card doesn't see as much play, but it was there in certain formats to catch other traps and like trap mirrors. Solemn Strike, really, really solid. This card has a lot of printings, but it's cool to see it again in this set, especially for returning players. Just Solemns are just really strong in the game. And then we rounded out with Red Reboot, because no one wants to play all these trap cards. But yeah, overall, I think this set is amazing. I think for anyone returning to the game, anyone that has not played in a while, anyone that needs to basically soup up their whole deck, this is the set for you. This set literally gives you everything. If you buy 3 copies of this, and I know I don't know what they retail for, but I know that, if you invest in these 3, you're guaranteed all this stuff. You can buy them off TCG Player. If you guys do, consider using my affiliate link down below. A portion of that goes back to the channel. It helps me out, and I really do appreciate it. You can also, again, buy the singles if you don't want to invest in the whole set. But overall, I think for anyone that hasn't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a while, pick up 3 of these and start cracking. You've got side deck options for days, you got extra deck options, you got just so many good cards to get you started, and I think that's what a set should be. A set should not only strengthen meta decks, competitive players decks, it should allow casual players and returning players the ability to just pick up stuff for a set price, pick up singles if they need be, because a lot of times singles are cheaper. It just really depends, and then you're able to come back into the game and have some of the best cards in the game. And I love the fact that they reprint all this stuff. You guys know I'm a huge advocate for reprints. I think that everyone should have access to the same card pool, because what is the point point in, you know, you winning a game because you own a card and your opponent doesn't? Like, where is the real skill in that? So I think it's really cool that, you know, all these reprints are available for everyone, and overall I think it's an amazing set. But I'd like to know your thoughts below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. If you enjoyed this product opening and review, let me know. If you want to see more of these in this kind of format where it's more so than an opening, it's more of a review for the overall meta, you know, relate that to me in the comments. Let me know if you want to see more things like that. If you think there are certain sets, certain things coming out that can definitely impact the meta, let me know, and I will definitely be bringing more of those here on the channel. But yeah, overall, I'm a huge fan of Duel Devastator. I hope you guys are too. Let me know your favorite reprint from this set in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.